Alright, we just got done straightening out these rods here. We put new pin bushings up in here. So now that's in there nice and snug. So we've got our checking tool here. Basically, if all those feet sit flat against there, you're good. See how they're all flat. So we checked it on both rods. Here, hold that. Now don't shake.
No.
They don't like that. Alright.
Steady as a rock.
You were steady as a rock until I got it. Alright, there's the other one. Nice and tight. Alright, let's see if it's even close to repeating. It helps that they repeat. Oh, damn. It appears to be the same as the other one, no gaps. So, this one was out quite a bit. We had to straighten it a little bit to make it work. So that way, that's what you look like. And this is the official tool for straightening them that I was working my butt on straightening with. We're not going to show that because it's top secret.
It's top secret.
Some people don't like it when I show them how I do things. Especially when I'm using that little tool right there. Called a 20-pound lead hammer. Alright, we'll get back to honing the big ends out. So right now we just got done measuring them over there. So we're going to go ahead and look into that next. Oh yeah, we're live. Don't shake again.
Don't shake.
They don't like that. Shaking McGurk. Okay, we're going to measure up our rods so we can fit up our big ends here. First thing I do is pull out your 1/over bearings and measure them, because we already know the standards aren't going to work. Ooh, more mail.
More packages.
Thank you. More eBay crap.
Yep.
Okay, that is at 9/10, see? Over here. See that?
Yep.
It's supposed to be standard. 9/10. Damn, it's 9/10 again.
Perfect. We're on a roll.
Well, we're on the small ones now.
Yeah.
That one's 8/10. Must be a manufacturing defect. That one's at 9. They just slipped that in there by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's another 9.
Tested you.
Okay. That one's 8.5. Getting out of there. Now we're at 250.85. That's what 8.5 means. Alright, so those are 1/4-inch rollers. Mine minus how much? Actually, they're plus. They're supposed to be +1. How much are they?
+1.
No, they're .250. What numbers would it give you?
Hmm?
What numbers did I give you?
9.
Oh, what are you filming, me?
Oh.
Over here.
Yeah, I don't
You're
remember.
supposed to be looking through that screen.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was between 8 and 9, remember?
Oh, yeah.
We'll go with 9. Okay, we already measured the crank pin before. It was 1/10 under 1 inch, so that's 9, 9, 9, 9. This is 259 because it's rollers again. And then we want clearance. How much clearance do you want, Clarence? 009.
Sounds reasonable.
Or because of 45, we can make it 1. I like 1, because we're going to run the piss out of those motors. Okay, now you got to add all those up. What's that come up to?
Bunch of 9s.
3 9s does not make 9.
3 9s, 27.
Makes 27. You're smart.
This calculator.
So some people that can't add in their head. So you got 0.2509 times 2, because it's 2 rollers. That's 5018. So we're 18/10 over to 5. Then you add in your 0.9999. Ooh, look at that big number. Then we add in our clearance, which is 1.001 equals, what's that equal? 1.502. There's that 27 number you had.
Yep.
Amazing, huh?
Incredible.
Isn't that stinking amazing? So, That's our number. And now we take this one here, which is what number?
5,000?
1.5000. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
That's called inch and a half. So that's 27 tenths under what we need. Okay, so I'm going to set this gauge over here. Okay, there's 0. See?
Yep.
Now we want what, 27? Remember? How do you get to 27 from 0? We're not. We're
Move
gonna
it.
cheat. We're gonna cheat and run out of dial. Okay, so we're gonna be 27. So that's 10, 20, and then 70 way down here. So we're gonna finish that. I think something's wrong, so the numbers don't come out right like they're supposed to. So right now we are way up here, and you can see how out around they are.
Yep.
That one's almost a thou out around. So we have to hone these around, and then we gotta get all the way down to 27 over here, which would be 17. So we gotta hone them too. Now these I just rough honed them just to see what they're gonna clean out. So we have to go bigger. So you can see how these are out around. So there you go. Alright, so we're going to go swap out my mandrel over here. I was doing pin bushings over here, so now we're going to pull out the one for doing the rod, which is right there. We'll double check all the math to make sure I'm correct, and we're going to start honing. Okay, I just double checked my numbers because this didn't look right, and as I suspected I was off by a thou because I was a half different one way over 0 instead of plus, minus. So I went and remeasured our standard rollers, and they come in at 249.8. Then I got my rod and my clearance, and the new number is 10 half thou over inch and a half. I thought it was a half thou under inch and a half, so I was off by a thou. So I'm going to try to save these rods, and you can see how the numbers came up. I'm going to try to save these used rods with standard bearings. I'm going to hone them oversized for standard.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Alright, so I reset my, or not reset it, it's the same thing over here, but I'm checking my rods. So now we're going to wind up being a half thou over is what we're going to want. And right now 0 is actually where the 1 is, not 0. 0 is actually 1 over, so that was probably some of the confusion I had. Okay, so right now this one here is 8 tenths undersize, and when you go out around, we got 2.5 tenths to hone out of that one. You flip it around 180, and that one's 3 tenths up. Okay, and we got 1 tenth to hone on that one, and 7.5, 8 tenths there. So I got to try to make, I got 1 tenth to work with in the worst spot, and make it round and true and sized. That should be plenty of room. 1 tenth, hell, that's nothing. Okay, this one's at 8. And this one's at 4, so that gives me 4 tenths to work with. This one here is at 9 almost, and 4 again. So we got 4 tenths to work with this rod. So we got a lot of room on this rod. We should be able to make that half square around.
That'd work easy.
Alright, so here's the mandrel. It's already in here. I've got my finish stone in there because I don't have anything to work with, really. So we're going to hone it with this. Okay, shaky. Don't shake.
Nope.
It didn't fit. What happened? Oh, there it goes. Put a little pressure in there to motivate it. All right. You need to put oil in there. Bounce it to the side around. Okay, how much is that?
1 thou?
So we had 4/10 to work with, now we're down to 2.
Wow.
We're 2/10 out around now. Yeah, so now we're 2/10 out around. We started at what, 8? So we only used up 2 of our working number. And this one here, we got 1.5 to work with. Oh, that one is almost final. We used up 9. That's basically our number right there. Maybe it's half, 1/1,000,000th over 10. When you divide by 10 by 10th by 10th, that's how much we're over right now. Now there's a little bit of heat in them too, so they'll cool and shrink a little bit. So we knocked out most of what I needed pretty quickly.
Doesn't take much, huh?
No. I can get things round fairly quickly, but getting the last little bit out doesn't like to come out. You see how fine the finish is in here. You want to make sure there's no pitting in there. You focused in there at all?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see no big eyebrows, which is unhoned area. That looks pretty round. I don't see any pitting. If there's any kind of pitting, these rod racers don't.
It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's pretty even too. You don't want to see. Alright, you got to cool it down a little bit. Put them over here in cold oil. Well, you can turn the noise off so you can hear me.
You're cooling them off now?
Yeah, see over here.
Then you're going to remeasure?
Cold oil, see? I'm in this bucket. You want to go in this bucket so you can see here?
Yeah, that's better.
And now you can see me cooling them. So isn't that pretty good, huh? Now that will change the number by quite a bit. And they are cold now. They are noticeably cold. That must get some cold oil in there. Okay, now you look at your gauge right there. So we're 1/10 out around, and we got 1 more to go. This is on this one. Now this one here is a little bit bigger on that one side, but see this side is where the bad part is. So, now this one here, is right there is where you're at. That's your worst spot, but the high spot's up here. So it's getting pretty close. It's still about 2/10 out around. Yeah, so we're still 2/10 out. Now 2/10 is acceptable, but I don't particularly like it. So
You'll take a little more off?
well, we still got a couple more tenths to go anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll work it out. And if I go a tenth or so over, it's not a major issue, but obviously I don't like my number. Notice we're not taking out much metal now either. Just got 1/10 to go there. That's showing just over 1/10 out around. The center rod never hones as much as the outer two pieces. We're going to come back and hone this out. Different parts of stone has a different force on it, so I can feel differences. I can hone different parts of the razor different sizes by feel. So that knocked out half of that air right there. Now we're half a tenth over on this right there. I can feel the heat in the rods already. See the finish is getting even smoother. time.
Cooling time.
You can't see that bucket.
He's in the oil.
I'm in the oil.
He's in the cold oil.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you can feel the difference in temperature when you do that. Okay, so we want to be at half. So we're 5.5 there and 4.8 there. Now those are tenths, not thou. That's half, only 5, and that's 6 right there. So it needs a little more honing on this side, but not this side. So you give it one of those. In that direction, it always cuts more on this side here than this side.
Oh.
Still in there. That side good right there, but this side here. Just a little bit out still. The finer these stones are, the less they cut. Not really taking anything out. Is that a lot of honey?
Yeah. Just fine.
Now, did you take anything out?
Yeah, that's the issue.
Not really. No.
Nope.
No, it didn't do shit. Now it's going to be out around. Hey. I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, look at that. Horrible. Alright, so now we're just over half, just under. So the average is on the side we want it to be. And we're 1/10 under there. On the money there, so I finally got that side too big. Damn it!
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, 1/10 there. On one spot. Yeah, this one's 2/10 out still. My tolerance is I'm not happy at 1/10. I should have been complicated. It's screwed up. 3 dimensions are at 0 and the other one's a 10th off. So that's what, a 25% error? Okay. Okay, that one's just over 6/10 and that's just under about 4.5. It's out around still a little bit. Round is now coming out. It kind of likes that 2/10 out around. Holding up.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I prefer it to be within 1, but you know, whatever. Keep working on it. Probably gonna be about it though. Yeah. They were at 5 3/4, and now we're at 3 3/4, so 1 3/4 tenths out. This one's 1/10 over, 1/10 under, so it's 2/10 out still. And the average is the number we're after, so this is 2/10 out around, which is, it doesn't want to come out, I don't have enough to work with. This one here, we were 1/10 out total. So that's a lot better than the one that's 2/10 out around.
Yeah.
The average size is correct, but you're still one over, one under. So, all right, I'm gonna clean these all up, and we'll do a trial fitment. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. See, new rag has lint. Lint bad. That's why I hate new rags.
Not good.
New rags suck. Now, you notice how that this cage doesn't fit there because that's a main bearing cage.
Oh.
It's a rod bearing cage. And if you flip it over like that, they don't fall out. So now you have a set of bearings. It goes like that. See how smooth the finish is after we clean everything all up?
Mm-hmm.
Now, theoretically, these are supposed to go right together like they're supposed to. And not be a pain.
Sweet.
And they're supposed to have adequate rod clearance. See that clearance in there?
Mm-hmm.
Can't see it on the big end, but it's there, you can feel it. So these I put in the flywheel, we're just doing a quickie for the video. But anyway, it's, like I said, you can see the clearance on that.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go, that's all good to go. There's an NOS rod set now, or at least new to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so that's ready for assembly. Oop, just dropped the rollers out. That's why you don't leave it like that. That made a big mess. Yep, that's a complete mess now. There we go.
Start over.
Start over.
It was a complete rod set.
Damn showboat. That's why you don't leave them armed over there. Dangerous trap. As soon as you touch it, it screws with you. Don't do it like that. Leave it disassembled. They don't fight with you. Oh well. Shit happens.
Oh, well. Get paid by the hour.
Is that what it is? That makes the videos longer? That's what the fast forward button's for? Oops. Oh, that was the off button. Ah, same thing. I guess it still worked. Okay, there's our rods again. Now these are our main bearings right here. Now there's a left and right. See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You know which one's which?
Nope.
Me either. That's the right, and these are the lefts. Now the rights take the same bearing as the rod.
Oh.
So, takes more of this one.
Mm-hmm.
The left ones are longer. They're in between the two legs. Okay, now everything we did on the rod that we just did, now we can do over here on the mains. So, because we have to hone these now.
Hmm.
So I get the same issues. So next first thing I do is I got to pull out the new parts, clean them off with your clean towel.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as your shirt.
Otherwise, you're sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're for, aren't they? That's when you go out after you've done work for the day, you smell funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was normal.
It is normal.
That was the wrong shaft. Anyway, this is the sprocket shaft. And the dirty rag went to the floor. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's always good.
Okay, now we get to measure this one and see what size it is. And we get to do that thing called math again.
Oh.
This one's big. It's a 1. Or it's right on size. It's not 1. It's a 7/8 actually, but it's 1 on the dial. It's right on the money. See, 0 lines up. It's not undersized like the crank pin was. I could have used that extra 10th.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 875, which is 7/8 on the money. So you got left hand and we got right hand. They keep them separate, see? And this is crank pins. All right, so this is 0.875 with a 0. Okay, then we get to measure this one. Should be the same size. It actually looks the same, 0. Yep. consistent too, all the way across, every way measured. So Jim's shafts are pretty accurate. Okay, so we got the same number starting. Okay, now this roller we know is 0.25 or 2. Was it 2498? 2498. We already measured them before. This time we want to run with 9/10 clearance instead of 1/1000. So that'll give us our number for that one. This one over here, I haven't measured the left-hand bearings yet, so we're going to get the left-hand main bearings. So what do we got in the left-hand main bearings?
Here, you want to back my bike out of there?
Yeah, we can do that.
I gotta get going.
Ah, now you got recording. Okay, I'll go back to what we're working on. That's 2522. Ooh, that's a small one there. 1.3. That one's still way out of round. So most of that round around us we're feeling is this one. Okay, which way did I hone that before?
You owned it the other way.
Reverse it. Running out of oil. That's not doing anything. Let's turn this one on over here. Those stones are basically not cutting because they're finishing stones, not roughing stones.
It'll take you a while.
Yeah. Feel like you're not doing much. It gives you a nice smooth finish though.
Yeah.
Got a couple tabs. 1, 2. On out the road. Alright. We'll be here for a while.
You'll be there for a while. For those stones.
Alright, I got these cases roughed in on the hone. So now they're all line honed. So that got them straight with each other. So now I'm going to go ahead and take them apart and individually hone them to the final. I got about a half a thou to a little bit less than that to hone out. So squared up. Right now they're slightly out of round in places because of the way those hones work. So we'll get those all cleaned up. We got cut off on what I was doing dimension-wise before, but here's the dimensions we were using, came up with. So these are with our shafts and roller sizes here. So these are two different sizes we're using for the bearings. So we got our dial bore gauge that we have it set for. So that's how we do it here. So I'm going to go ahead and take these apart, individually hone these, and we'll come back and show you what they look like when they're all done. Okay, I just finished up honing out these bearing races. So we got a nice smooth finish here. See how nice those look. Better view maybe. So anyway, we got them fitted up here. So with our dial bore gauge here, coming in about 9/10. There's 1 thou, which is 10/10. This is 2/10 over, and that's about 1/10 over. So 2/10 total reading there, or is that 3/10? I forget. And this one over here, we're shooting for 11, so we got 11 there, 11 out 12. 11 there, so I'm going up and down the hole here like this. So down here, 12 or so. So there you go, same thing, we're just going up and down our hole, getting our measurements. Yep. So came out pretty close. I wound up putting 2/10 over bearings. Right hand main. We were supposed to be a half thou over, but it was still. I got out around this spot right here, one little spot where it's low from all the line honing. So I went ahead and got the honed out round as I could. I'm still what 3/10 out, but I came up with I went to 2/10 over bearings on that side, and the left side I already had set up to 2/10. So I wonder if we got both sides have 2/10 over bearings in them now. So that's not too bad. So we got a pretty good round, square, lined with each other. So all good on that part. And we got our new rollers sitting right here. So these are all our sets. So we got our rods right here, right main and left main. And these are our shafts. So I didn't check these to see how they fit up together yet, but they should fit pretty good. Hard to measure this with one hand, but the small one is the main. Yeah, it doesn't help very good when it barely hits on it. It's a problem when you work with one hand. Put some nuts in there as spacers. Actually, that's not going to help any because it's still going to hit on the damn same spot. Anyway, I can't check it like with one hand, but it's in there. It rotates. You can see it's got just a little bit of clearance. It'll be tighter now when it gets all the bearings in it, so it'll be good. All right, the next thing we got to work on now is we're going to have to mill these cases out here. Get this stuff out of the way. Keep screwing around with everything. Okay, we want to cut out these windows in here. We want to get oil to our cylinders and pistons so they lubricate. So before I did all the honing on here, I scraped all these surfaces and got all the goop off. So they're clean. Everybody thinks you're supposed to put this oil shit on the inside of your motor. This original case is original bike, unrestored, and I don't have that red goop in there very much. So whatever was in there fell out. Not needed unless you got really bad cases. So I don't put the junk in there. Okay, these all line up nice and even now. Now these 45s, you got 3 dowel surfaces. You got this stud here is doweled, see how it's bigger right here? That goes up here in your top center. Tap it in with plastic hammer. And yes, I am beating the crap out of a Harley case with a hammer on a steel bench, making noise. Too bad. Okay, this is your other dowel studs. They go in the 2 bottom ones down here. So once again, it's doweled. The doweled studs are supposed to go in snug. Okay, now that dowels, the 3 dowels will line your case up. So now these surfaces should be lined up. These over here. Obviously the main bearing should be lined up. And up here our deck height. This should be lined up. And also the bore in here should be lined up. This one lined up pretty closely. So that's what you want to see on a pair of lined up cases where everything lines up very, very closely. If you get a bunch of errors in this stuff, that means the cases are not machined to each other. Most likely means the secret numbers under here are not matched, which is kind of important. So there's your number right here. These cases were made in 42. That's when the machining was done anyway. This VIN number might be different than the number up here, but being a military case, they're all 42s. So being a 14,000 number here, it's a pretty high production. Now they did make about 60,000 bikes, or 55,000, depending who you talk to. So this one here is a Canadian version, the C version. It's 15,000 in production, so it's probably something was made in, I'm guessing, late 1942. So it's probably an early 43 actually production bike. But if that matters to anybody. Okay, these two bolts here are just regular 5/16 bolts, nothing special. So just screw on down like that. Once again, they should go in there nice and smoothly. These two studs here are just straight 1/4" studs. Now these have 1/4 thread on it, which is a Harley oddball thread. It's just a straight stud, just falls through. Doesn't do no doweling or nothing, just only puts clamping pressure. These nuts are 1/4 nuts, but they're special because they're 1/2" diameter or 1/2" hex instead of 7/16, which gives you more of a shoulder against the case. So it pulls better. And they don't use any washers or anything, just tighten up. Right against there. You notice how I'm slamming this thing around on my bench. Piss everybody off. And you see how the dowel studs stick through. So we'll go ahead and tighten these all up. And we'll just take it over to a mill. Put that one in yet. Like I said, we can go ahead and cut this area out right in here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of this out here. Now Harley cut these out because they wanted to get more oil in the rear cylinder. So first they, back in the 30s, early 30s, these were solid like the front. Then in the mid 30s they cut one window out. Then later on they cut the whole window out like this. And this one here, I'm not sure if they ever took this one out, but if they did, it would have been in the late 40s or 50s. And I can't remember if my later trike cases had these in there or not. Knowing Harley, they probably left it in there. So we're going to go ahead and cut it out so we get oil to our pistons. I've got these new style pistons over here with modern rings. These have the fat oil ring and the thin top rings. These are K-model style rings. These are 50-piece style. We're putting aces rings with a 3-piece oil ring, so we're going to let the oil get up to lubricate the piston and keep it cool, which will make it live longer. And you put better rings in it so that they will seal like they're supposed to. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set this up in the mill and we'll get back. Alright, we're getting ready to do this 45 case. So I got it all squared out. Cut this hole out. Now I've already went over and cut this one out. So I left a little bit of a lip right here because the cylinder sticks out further, so no reason to cut it more than what the cylinder would be. That'll make it flow a little bit better in the cylinder. It also keeps it from blowing oil right next to the cylinder up into your gasket. So just do about the same on this side. So we're getting ready to all set up to hit this. Let's get our first cut in here. Let's see. First pass. See the hole it left? So we'll take nice light cuts here. 1, 2, 3 ought to be a light cut. That'd be 300 thousandths, one shot. That'd be about that much. Yeah, that's a pretty good cut. Now I go back it off to 200. 1, 2. All right. Let's cut now. Sure you're clear. Contact. Go for it. Yeah, it feels like a good cut. Keep it simple. Yeah, a little extra. Stop. It's called manual braking with your finger. I'm sure it's very safe. I would never do anything dangerous. This time we'll hit the brake up there. It's not moving this time. See, my extra hand is working all the time. You notice how the hole's getting bigger. These 200,000 holes are starting to get, cuts are getting a little hard on the case. Yeah, we'll drop off after this one to 100 pass. Yeah, it's banging pretty hard. Maybe I should have backed off before. Too late. Now if the case comes loose, it does a lot of damage. 100,000 pounds. A little bit softer hits. Yeah, probably about 3 more passes ought to get us close. Maybe 4. Stop. Yep. Getting close. Starting to get out of balance with all this weight over here. Hear the mill shaking. Alright, that might be the last pass. That's a heavy cut. Oop. that's it. I'll do a 10 thou cleanup to smooth up the surface. You see how it's rough down in here right now. Finish right there. So we're going to smooth that up a little bit here. And now you can see how much smoother that is right now. Fingernail doesn't catch on as much. There you go. See that all in there? Looks just like this other side here. Now all you gotta do is do a little deburring in back on the bottom edges here. So you don't cut yourself. Should be good to go. Now for the setup, I just use an angle plate. And a couple parallel spacers. Actually tool bits. And another clamp down on the inside just clamps it in. Alright, holes are done. Moving on. Okay, I got the case all cleaned up here. So I went ahead and knocked off the burrs right along where the sharp edge in here, radiused it. Then I knocked off a bunch of casting flash around here and a bunch of burrs. Big turd that was down there. So basically just clean the cases out. No sharp edges here to hurt you. The right side did the same thing over here. So I cleaned it all up through here, both sides. This had a big calcium flash line all the way across here. Knocked that out. Knocked off the other burrs, so now everything will, the oil will flow back pretty nice. And also some sharp edges on this, so go ahead and run my burr right here. Just where you can see what I'm doing. It's hard to do this while you're trying to hold the camera. Didn't take much. And a little deeper toes work good. I'll hit this one while we're at it. And this is not necessary to do this at all, but if you're in here doing a little machine work, you might as well do a nice job. Besides, when I go to assembly, I won't cut myself on these burrs. Alright. Good. I'll blow it off. There we go. While I was at it, I also deburred the top of the thread hole here on these, so when you tighten them up, they pull tight, not just right off the ledge. These are through holes, so they don't really matter. I like taking those off. Okay, so we got these pretty well cleaned up over here. This side over here looks good. The timing hole plug over here looks good. You always want to check these things before you finish off all your machining. Make sure the threads are good. Those suck to fix later. And on this one over here, I got to fix this side over here. This here helicoil right here, thread. This thread is missing the first 3 threads or so. So this needs to be helicoiled. It should be threaded right at the top like this one here is. So I'm going to have to helicoil this. The rest of these holes look good. So we got a helicoil kit right here. This is 1/4 24 thread, which is an oddball Harley thread. So got my drill chuck all set up over here. I'm going to make sure this sits flat on the mill. It also includes when you start pushing on this side. So usually what I do is I hold it on this side while I drill this side. That way it stays flat on the table. So I'm going to go ahead and use the these things right here. So this is your heater coil, this is your installer, this is your tap right here, special tap, and this is the drill you use. So I gotta go ahead and set this thing up to do the drill. Go ahead and pop that out. So I'll do this off camera, and we'll look at it maybe later tomorrow. It's going on midnight tonight, so I'm gonna finish this up and call it done for the night. So that'll be it for now.